a square off you?
Yeah, sure.
Well, thanks so much. You know, you're so pretty. Have you ever thought about modeling? Well, I have this really cool friend who is like a photographer or whatever, and I'm supposed to be like out here getting girls for it. And like, if I get girls, I can hook you up for free, and I get like store credit or whatever. So here is my business card. Okay, here we go. Here's his card, and here's the number. Whoops. And here's the address. And if you just meet me there at like 5 o'clock-ish tonight, then I can hook you up. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Hey. You must be the girl that was talking to you about it. Gosh, you're so pretty. Yeah, come on. So we're gonna have you like pose on the ground for some shots, and maybe get like some up above shots, and like.
Sex trafficking is a form of slavery that exists throughout the U.S. as well as the rest of the world. It is the exploitation of a person into some type of coercive labor situation or sexual exploitation. Sex trafficking is the fastest growing organized crime in the U.S. The Twin Cities area ranks as one of the 13 largest centers for child prostitution in the entire nation. Backpage.com is a Craigslist-type website that allows you to buy escort services. Most of the time, they end up being a juvenile. "54% of the time, it is a stranger that approaches you. 46% of the time, it's someone you know." Human trafficking isn't pretty. An estimated 600,000 to 800,000 people are trafficked across international borders each year. 50% are children, and 80% are women or girls. Human trafficking generates $32 billion per year, making it the third largest international crime industry. Next, I have an interview with Sergeant Sean Johnson. How long have you been working in the police department?
I have been a police officer for 25 years.
When did you become a sergeant?
I think 7 years ago.
How many sex trafficking cases would you say that you've worked?
Oh boy. All total, probably a couple hundred. From a gender perspective, it's far more girls than it is boys. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean that boys aren't victimized as well. They are, just not to the scale that girls are. What most traffickers really look for really has nothing to do with the race of the girl. They're looking for girls who are vulnerable because they're weak or broken in some way. In other words, they come from a very broken family. They've been sexually abused in the past. They have drug or alcohol addictions, mental health or mental illness issues. They look for a person who's easily exploitable, who's vulnerable to being exploited.
Are a lot of the cases that you got, were they like runaway cases?
Runaways make up a great deal of it. Not all of them, but it's a very high number. Well, the average age that a person or a young woman is dragged into sex trafficking, the average age now is, or the early, they start at 13.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm sure there are young girls who have been brought in even earlier than that, but certainly 13 is the kind of the national average.
Can you tell me about one of the scariest cases that you worked?
She was 17. Her trafficker was probably in his mid-30s, I think. I had gotten a tip about her because she was a runaway, and ended up locating her in an ad. Called the ad, and I made, quote unquote, made a date to go see her so I could find out where she was. When I arrived there and started talking to her, got into the room and I told her that I was actually a police officer. And I called her by her real name. She said, "I don't know who you're talking about." She denied being that person. She had been conditioned to do that. And so when I finally kind of broke her down, what broke her down, and that it really bothered me, was that when she was very hard, very angry toward me. I don't know who you are. That's not my name. So I asked her. I said, "What day is it?" And she said, "It's Tuesday." I said, "No, actually, it's Thursday." And okay, so big deal. So it's a Thursday in March, big deal. I said, No, it's actually a Thursday in June.
Oh my God.
And she broke down and started to cry. And I said, do you really not know what month it is? And she said, no, I've been in this hotel room for, I guess, months.
It's horrible.
Seeing man after man after man after man. And her trafficker would feed her little bits of pizza or little bits of fast food or whatever. And she was clearly strung out on drugs. There was alcohol in the room, so he had her drinking and kept her drugged up, essentially. And it was really disturbing to me to see how how non-human she appeared. I mean, she clearly was just not really there.
Yeah.
The bright side of that is that we got her out of there that day and got her help and found her trafficker later that day, which was a little hairy too, and that ended up being a sort of a violent encounter. But we found him, and he went to prison. He's now in prison. It's almost 100% guaranteed that if you go on run or you become a runaway, that you will be approached by a trafficker. That's almost 100% of people get approached.
That's great. How do they approach the girls?
They know where they hang out. You know, the Mall of America is a big place. Any malls where young, teenage girls would hang out. Bus stops. I've had several of my cases where the girls were found at bus stops. They find them at just places teenagers hang out, see them walking on the street.
What is the St. Paul Police Force doing about the issue?
Well, I can say that St. Paul PD is the only police department in Minnesota that has a dedicated full-time human trafficking unit.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, we're the only department in the state, as far as I know. It's at least we always had been, unless something that's changed recently. But there's three of us: myself, another sergeant, and then a female officer, and then we have an analyst that goes through ads and figures out information for us.
Oh.
And but that's all we do. I don't do any other kinds of cases. I have in the past in other units, but in this unit, that's the only thing we work on is sexually exploited people. Teach young boys that buying girls is not okay. That when they as they get older, it's not okay to purchase women for sex. Women are not an item that you pull off the shelf in the store and you buy it and throw away or put away when you're done with.
Yeah.
If there was nobody that was buying sex, there wouldn't be anybody to sell.
Right. Well, thank you for being able to come here and talk to me. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Victims of sex trafficking are often vulnerable because of homelessness, poverty, domestic violence, substance abuse, mental or physical disability, or lack of legal immigration status. Traffickers target locations youth frequent, such as schools, malls, parks, bus stops, shelters, and group homes. They often prey on runaways and at-risk youth. If you suspect someone of being trafficked, there are a few signs you can look for. Signs of physical abuse, unexplained absences from class, sexualized behavior, withdrawn, depressed, or distracted, displays expensive clothes or new tattoos, has an older boyfriend or new friends, or shows signs of gang affiliation. If you or anyone you know has questions or needs help, you can contact the National Human Trafficking Resource Center at 1-888-373-7888. Or if you have other questions, you can contact them at help@humantraffickinghotline.org. They can help you locate local organizations to help prevent sex trafficking.